Dorothy Fountain. I currently am the Chief Legal Advisor for the Department of Justice Antitrust Division. In a prior division role for nearly 10 years, I was Assistant Chief to Maribeth Petrizzi, who at the time was the Chief of the Litigation 2 section. That experience was everything I had hoped it would be. Maribeth and I had a true management partnership, which for me was a professional relationship unlike any other. The basis for our partnership was a common sense of purpose, mutual respect, good communication, a shared sense of humor, and occasionally constructive disagreement. Maribeth's relationships with the staff of the section likewise shared these characteristics. Maribeth is an extraordinary team player, a compelling leader, an outstanding manager, a strong antitrust analyst, a pragmatic attorney, a consensus builder, a sympathetic ear, a supportive mentor, a patient advisor, a trusted confidant, and a diabolical wit. She always wanted the best for her staff and also from her staff. She prioritized the development of her team, growing junior attorneys into fully effective investigators and lead attorneys, and ensuring the most suitable and most interesting opportunities for her more experienced attorneys. She had a selfless commitment to her staff, for whom her thoughtfulness and generosity cannot be overstated. Likewise, Maribeth was committed to the Antitrust Division and its enforcement mission. Under her supervision, the section produced an incredible amount of work. By my count, she led the section in conducting nearly 400 investigations, more than 100 of which became significant longer-term investigations after issuance of compulsory process. These investigations resulted in more than 50 filed cases, most of which were filed contemporaneously with a consent decree. The ones that were filed as litigated complaints ultimately also resulted in a remedy. Her dedication to antitrust enforcement, combined with her natural leadership and management skills and her very human side, make Maribeth the whole package, and this honor is well-deserved. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. I am pleased to be able to submit this testimonial video for Maribeth Petrizzi, who was a speaker on an ABA program that I moderated in 2013 about second requests. While technically that was the first time that I met Maribeth, our first real introduction didn't really occur until about a year later when I attended a lunch organized by our mutual friend, Dorothy Fountain. 1 hour and 1 DOJ application later, I was joining Maribeth and Dorothy's group at DOJ because I was impressed so much by both of them. I've learned many things from Maribeth over the years, but the thing that I think differentiates Maribeth from many others that I've met in the legal profession is that Maribeth tries to understand people and sort of meet them where they are so that she can motivate them according to their own personality traits. I just find that level of acceptance is really rare in our profession, and I think it's what has earned Maribeth a very long line of devotees. Not just women, men and women have worked for her and really appreciated that characteristic that she brings to the table. I think people that work for Maribeth feel as though Maribeth makes them into better versions of the attorney that they wanted to be when they got into the profession. The flip side of that lesson is similar conceptually, and it is what I think I respect most about Maribeth, which is that she doesn't believe that she has to mold the attorneys that work for her into her own image in order to be successful or for you to be successful. I think back on the earlier parts of my career and the time that I spent conceptualizing what a successful young attorney, female attorney, diverse attorney, big law attorney, ABA leader, what a successful version of all of those people look like. But it's remarkable how quickly everything in my career has clicked for me into place when I could just be me doing the work. I very much appreciate that about Maribeth. So thank you so much for that. And cheers to you for a really well-deserved award.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Fleming, and I'm currently an attorney at DOJ's Civil Division. But prior to that, and for about the first 16 years of my career, I worked under the leadership of Maribeth Petrizzi at the Defense, Industrials, and Aerospace section of the Antitrust Division. I worked with Maribeth first as a trial attorney and most recently as one of her assistant chiefs. And based on that experience, I can honestly say I was not at all surprised that she would be selected for this award. Maribeth has consistently been a great role model, a tireless mentor, a fierce advocate, and really an effective agent for change across the division and the Department of Justice. But by making it clear through her own example and by how she managed her teams that she valued strong opinions, Maribeth helped me become a better and more confident attorney. And I know that she helped lawyers who started their careers without much of a voice speak up and grow as well. I think in particular that it's important for women to grow as attorneys in environments where they're encouraged to speak up and engage. And to that end, Maribeth was incredibly effective. So Maribeth, more than anyone, you deserve to be recognized for your accomplishments, for your mentorship, for your leadership, and I appreciate all of those qualities in you. And of course, I value your friendship as well. But congratulations.
Thank you to the leadership of the ABA Antitrust Section's Women Connected Committee for the amazing honor that you are bestowing upon me. I am impressed by the work that you do, and I am equally impressed by the tremendous accomplishments of the other honorees. Congratulations to Judge Donald, Pamela Jones-Harbor, and Diana Moss. I would be remiss if I did not thank and acknowledge all the women that blazed trails before us, that led the way to smashing ceilings so that groups like Women Connected could be created and thrive. I also think of my mom, who blazed her own trails before me. She was smart, but she also always made sure that each person she met felt like they were the most important person to her. And I want to thank the rest of my large extended family for their continuous support, and to my partner, Sandy Ray, who has always supported me in everything that I've wanted to do and in every career choice that I have made. Thank you. And while this honor is given to me as an individual, it is shared with my colleagues at the FTC and with my former colleagues at DOJ, because none of the work that I have done or continue to do could be done without the outstanding contributions and amazing work of the teams of which I have had the honor to work. I stumbled upon antitrust in law school because I had taken an antitrust class with a professor who saw something in me, and he offered me the opportunity to pursue an independent study in antitrust. This professor challenged me and made antitrust fun and interesting. I started my antitrust career at the Federal Trade Commission over 30 years ago. It was startling to see then that while women comprised 50% of my law school class, women were in the minority in the field of antitrust. I will always remember the first time I participated in an investigational hearing at the FTC. The relevant industry was a chemical-related industry, and it wasn't a surprise that I was the only woman on either side of the table. I walked into the room with another colleague, a male attorney, and yet opposing counsel turned to me to ask whether coffee would be provided during the investigational hearing. This request was ludicrous, not just because he asked the only woman in the room, but also because everyone knows that the FTC does not provide coffee during IHs. I spent 5 amazing years learning from some of the best and the brightest attorneys in a wonderfully collaborative environment. I decided to broaden my experience, and I spent the next couple of years in private practice. But the appeal of working on behalf of the Department of Justice was too great, and I joined the Antitrust Division, and I remained there for 21 years. The Antitrust Division was a great place for me to practice law, not only because of my love of antitrust, but because it was an amazing and supportive environment. As a staff attorney, I had the opportunity to learn from many talented analysts and trial attorneys, and at every step of my career, I was given the opportunity to take ownership of complex investigative and trial preparation issues. I will always remember the first time I had the opportunity to stand up in court and say, "Your Honor, my name is Maribeth Petrizzi, and I represent the United States of America." I loved that. I was so proud of that. I also had the opportunity to see a great expansion of the number of women practicing antitrust over the last 30 years. And as my career progressed, I worked with many more women who are career managers, deputy assistant attorney generals, and the assistant attorney general of the Antitrust Division, as well as commissioners and chairs of the FTC. I shared a great feeling of collegiality with the other women managers, and I have often enjoyed the role of a leadership mentor to new managers as I have served as a manager for over 20 years. People often ask me, what was your greatest accomplishment at the Antitrust Division? And while it would be very easy to talk about some of the interesting cases, my real accomplishments and the work that I derive the greatest satisfaction from is the development of the attorneys I work with as a colleague and as a manager. I do truly believe in paying it forward. And I have been very fortunate to work with people who always look to provide me with opportunities that can help me develop my skills. The opportunity to oversee a section and now a shop has provided me with opportunities to mentor, to develop, to hire, and promote ideals of diversity, equity, and inclusion. These ideals were also a critical part of the work I did with the Antitrust Division's Diversity Committee. Some of the achievements for which I am most proud involve the efforts of my colleagues on the Diversity Committee, including our efforts to develop a diversity-related program called Disabilities in the Workplace Speaker Series. This speaker series addresses attitudinal barriers that may affect the hiring of qualified persons with disabilities for positions in the Department of Justice and the Antitrust Division. Each of these efforts were designed to foster a more diverse and inclusive work environment. I left DOJ after 21 years to pursue a wonderful opportunity at the FTC to serve as the Assistant Director of the Compliance Division. The work is exciting, but once again, the best part of the job is working with and mentoring the career staff and collaborating with my fellow managers. I also had the amazing opportunity to serve as the Acting Director of the Bureau of Competition during the beginning of the transition of the Biden administration. And while this opportunity to lead more than 300 attorneys in the Bureau presented a fantastic variety of interesting substantive opportunities, some of the greatest aspects of the job have been working with a wonderful new variety of attorneys and helping them to foster their own development. While case victories are great, seeing someone develop and grow as a professional has a far greater impact than a single case victory. I know that I will continue to enjoy many victories in my job and my career, but I also know that I continue to look forward to working with others who are looking for guidance and counsel about how best to pursue their own careers. Thank you again for this wonderful honor, and it is my challenge and commitment to anyone listening, that we should all continue to pay it forward.